Pat Riley does a State of the Heat address at the end of every season. Pat Riley is the president. He's the Gazda. He's the HMFIC. And Pat Riley is not your typical NBA smooth-talking executive. Maybe at one time he was, but he certainly isn't now. He's at an age, what does he care? I mean, he's Riles. He's got the rings. He's got the cachet. He's dated the hotties. I mean, are you kidding me? Well, Pat Riley, after videos surfaced of Jimmy Butler stating that had he been playing and not injured, the Celtics and the Knicks would be going effing home. That's right. He said going effing home. Well, Heat president Pat Riley did not appreciate those words, and he also had words for Tyler Hero. Let's hear from Pat Riley. Let's hear what the great one had to say, shall we?
For him to say that, I thought, is that Jimmy trolling or is that Jimmy serious? If you're not on the court playing against Boston or on the court playing against the New York Knicks, you should keep your mouth shut in your criticism of those teams.
Man, is he right? He could not be more right. It's really simple. I mean, I can sit there and say, well, had I been with the Pacers back in the 80s and 90s, we'd have beat Michael Jordan because, well, in college, I guarded him once. I mean, anybody can say that, but if you look stupid. You look stupid when you say things, yeah, but if I were that guy, I would have done this. And I don't even care what profession it is. If I were out there, I'd have hit 3 home runs against Mariano Rivera. Back in high school, I faced the big fat kid, and I doubled off the wall or something ignorant like that. And Jimmy Butler, as a pro, is no different. The easiest thing in the world to do is what I do. It is. The easiest thing in the world to do is sit here and talk about others. That's why I like to play golf like a crazy person for as much money as anybody wants to play golf for, as long as it's fair. Why? Because the competition. Now, I will talk that yang after a golf match, whether I win or whether I lose, but I really don't talk about what I would have done ever in a game or ever as a coach. I tell you what I would have done. I wouldn't have called that ridiculous-ass blocking foul on Miles Turner with 12 seconds to go, but I digress. That's just me being a fanboy and a little bit pissed. But anyway, Pat Riley has a calm demeanor about him. And one of the interesting things about Pat Riley is nobody really gets mad at him. He's kind of earned it, right? He's kind of earned it with the style of the 80s, Magic and Worthy and Kareem. And, when you do that, everybody else around the league kind of sits up straighter when you talk. And I hope Tyler Hero sits up a little straighter. Tyler Hero seems like he's a little batch. Here's what Riles had to say about Tyler Hero, the Heat. I guess he's a star. I don't know. Seems like a confused little kid. But here is Riley about Tyler Hero.
Well, he's been fragile a little bit, and he broke his hand last year in the playoffs. He had some injuries, earlier in his career, and there isn't anybody who works, harder. Major injuries are real, and so we just hope we can get through a season where he's playing, in that 72 to 82 game basis. Maybe one year he will surprise everybody and play every game. He's had some. I remember James.
Yeah, okay, there you go. Well, he's right. I like Hero. He's fine. But, I don't really care. But I love, and you never see this in sports anymore, and maybe this is why Riley's teams are usually pretty good and overachieve. I love when executives and coaches actually tell it like it is. If I were Danny Hurley, the head coach of UConn, I would hope all of these coaches, like our guy here in Indiana, Mike Woodson, keeps paying players to come in and play for a year or two. I would hope that coaches like Mike Woodson here in Indiana continue to be afraid to be critical of their team or continue to be afraid to coach them hard, to correct mistakes, to bench guys. Why? Because Danny Hurley doesn't. And so Danny Hurley's going to continue to win NCAA tournament games by 20 because he coaches them in such a way where they get better. They have to, or they got to go. You got a certain standard, and they live up to it. That's what Riley does. Riley sets a standard for his operation. That's what good business people do. If you're in business and your business is failing, you got to go, hang on here a second. What am I not setting? What standard am I not holding a people to? Is my standard too high, unattainable, thus giving my workers no hope? Or is my standard, and most times this is it, am I too lenient? Do I let people show up late for meetings? Do I let people show up late for work? Do I not hold people accountable? Yeah, it doesn't matter whether it's in sports or in business, any type of business. You got to have accountability, and that's why I like Pat Riley. You know, it'd have been easy to say, that's just Jimmy trolling. That's just Jimmy on social media. I mean, what are you going to do? He's an NBA player. He's a great player. He's proved himself in the NBA playoffs. He's playoff Jimmy, for crying out loud. It'd been easy to do that. But you could tell when Riley said the first part that he was a little bit pissed by it, and he wasn't pissed as an executive. He was pissed as a former player. You know, a lot of times, even me, who was at best a bit college player, you revert back to how you thought in college, or you revert back to how you thought when you played in the NBA or wherever. And it pisses you off when somebody doesn't respect the game, even somebody that's your own, like Jimmy Butler, even somebody that's played as well as Jimmy Butler has played for Pat Riley. Now, you could argue Riley saved Butler's career, vice versa, whatever you want to do. But I love it. And I'm telling you right now, if you want to win and you want to win big, you better have either the absolute perfect guys, which they may have in Boston, or you better hold everybody to a really high level, which they do in Boston. It's interesting. Very, very interesting because you just don't see it. You'll see it after the fact. You know, people will talk about how tough so-and-so was as a coach. They do that with Belichick all the time. But you really don't see it other than with Belichick and Danny Hurley and a few others. Oh, by the way, all champions. You don't see it that often. But when you do, it's absolutely freaking glorious. And I'm here to celebrate you. Who am I raising a glass? Athens. I raise a glass to you, Pat Riley, for speaking the truth, for not being afraid. And why should Riley be afraid? What's he got to be afraid? Oh, they're mad at me? Really? Jimmy Butler's mad at me? What's he going to do? Dye his hair pink, put himself in braids, and stomp around and talk? The Jimmy Butler way? Please, children, please. Jimmy Butler's crazy, and everybody knows it. All right, friend of the show, Craig Carton chose violence on Monday morning. He chose violence, and he decided to ruffle every single Minnesota Timberwolves fan feathers with his comments on budding superstar Anthony Edwards. Let's hear from friend of the show, Craig Carton.
I feel bad for you people in Minnesota because you seem like nice people, right?
Whoa,
You seem like nice, good people.
Where are you going?
You seem like nice, good people.
You always got a butt.
Well, because I
Why?
see the future first, Timmy, as you wear your Viking colors. I see that right there. You're going to lose them. You know you're going to lose them.
What? No.
You're going to lose them. Like every Minnesota-type town loses their stars. At some point, he's going to wake up and go, unless he wins a title there, of course, which is absolutely on the table right now. But at some point, there's going to be an agent. And the agent's going to whisper in his ear, New York, New York, New York, L.A., 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 and that's what's going to happen. So for you diehard basketball fans in Minnesota, you better enjoy it now. You better put your arms around it, embrace it, and give it a big fat tongue kiss because he ain't going to be there forever.
He ain't going nowhere.
You tell me a great player that didn't leave Minnesota.
Oh, wait. Isn't A-Rod ownership over there?
No. The ownership did not go through.
You won a championship from someone who used to be in Minnesota that went to Boston.
That's good for them. Yeah. But I think that was Kevin McHale and Danny Ainge working together to put banners.
Yeah, I'm waiting. Just tell me the last great player that didn't leave Minnesota. The answer is they all did.
I think that
every guy left.
I think that he's going to stay there and he's going to win a championship.
If they know better, they keep him there.
Even Sebastian Telfair said, enough of this. Enough of this.
Hey, he ain't wrong. I mean, it's like every great player in every other organization in baseball. You're like, well, they're going to end up with the Yankees, Red Sox, or Dodgers. I mean, it's just what's going to happen. We saw it with Ohtani, Mookie Betts, you name it. He ain't wrong. I mean, you hope not. It would be a nice story, right? If a 22-year-old kid, Anthony Edwards, who had 27 last night, and they won by 26 in Denver over Jokic. It'd be great, would it not? if Anthony Edwards stayed in Minnesota, but I got to tell you, why would a young African-American basketball player, actually a young white basketball player as well, want to stay there? I mean, seriously, the crime aside, the downtown sucks. The entire area is great outside of downtown. I mean, they got lakes and cabins, but I don't know if a 22-year-old basketball player really gets into lakes and cabins and streams. Now, maybe he does. Maybe he's a country kid. I have no idea. But I know this, Minnesota sucks. It does. Minneapolis, well, not Minnesota. Minnesota is great. Minneapolis sucks. I mean, it is a god-awful, lawless hellhole that everybody should flee. And see, here's the deal. This is what folks don't understand. Sometimes, most times, it comes down to how you live personally. Like, if you live in Chicago and you're Michael Jordan and you live on the north side, or whoever the local hero is for the Bulls, which right now there is none. Lorenzo Ball is going to get $21 million. Hadn't played since I played. But anyway, you go right on the highway, get off, and it's right there. It is the easiest commute in a big city ever to get from where you're going to live to flee all the crime, which is the north side, way north. Get the hell up there. Get out. Go. To get to your arena. New York City sucks. You got to have two places. You got to have a place out in Westchester where the practice facility is, and you got to have a place in Manhattan because who the hell wants to fight that traffic? No, Minneapolis, just having to go into Minneapolis every day sucks. It just sucks. Horrible, horrible, horrible. The worst city I have been to, not named Gary or, a major city. And I'm not sure it's even close. So, of course, Anthony Edwards is going to get the hell out of there. Of course, he's going to go somewhere where he can enjoy his life. Why do you think so many people want to go to Miami? I mean, look, put yourself, you're 22 to 32 years old. You got more money than God. All you got to do is look at the pictures. And, of course, you want to be there. So, yeah, I'm all in on what Craig Carton is saying. Now, the president, whew, is he good? And you know what else? Anthony Edwards makes everybody better. Not with his play necessarily, but with his toughness, his attitude, his approach. I mean, last night they beat the living hell out of Jokic, and the guy they brought in, Rudy Gobert, wasn't there because his wife was having a baby, which I'll never understand. I'll live to be 1,000 years old, and I'll never understand how an adult male would, in Gobert's spot, have a child in the middle of the playoffs. Child is a blessing. I get all that. I was telling, and we were talking last night, Lee and I, my beautiful wife, she was never having kids during the season. I was never having kids during the season. My son's birthday's Friday, May 10th. You know what May 10th represents in college basketball? No recruiting, no camps, players are gone. My daughter's birthday, June 2nd. You know what first week of June represents? No camp, no recruiting, no players, students are gone, nothing. No camps until the middle of June. That's how you go about the business. That's what you do. That is how you go about the business of having children. You don't miss NBA playoff games. You have family planning. And yet, even with Gobert, the guy they hired to defend Jokic, a mercenary coming in to play against the best player in the world, they didn't even need him. They didn't even need him. And they won by 20 freaking 6. And this dude is legit. This dude, Anthony Edwards, is not just I'm scoring a bunch of points because, well, you know what? I'm on a team that's bad. I got to score. I'm on a streak. I'm on a heater. Anthony Edwards said yesterday, stop with the comparisons of Michael Jordan. He's the greatest of all time. I don't belong in that class. Ooh. Compare that to the local yokel idiots in your town that play in the NBA and think if they make a jump shot, next thing you know, they're wilt. Not they wilted, they're wilt, as in Chamberlain. Or if a guy dunks on another guy, he thinks he's Michael Jordan, deserves a shoe contract. He starts spreading his legs, putting the ball out, and thinks he's a damn logo. I mean, we got idiots among us, but Anthony Edwards is not one of those. My God, is he good. My God, is he humble, and my God, is Craig Carton right. That dude is skedaddling. Hey, apparently we got beef. We got public beef. What's the public beef? Drake and somebody? Yeah, I don't follow that stupidity. No. But I did think the joke about Kim Kardashian and her vajayjay being public beef was pretty funny at the roast of Tom Brady the other night. But we got beef, and it's a weird one. We got Robert Kraft beefing with Vladimir Putin. And it reminds me, of course, of a story. I put my national championship ring on a craps table once at Caesar's Palace. And a guy, the dealer, said, "Hey, Dan, man, get that damn thing off because we'll take it." And I'm like, oh, well, I don't want that. Well, apparently, Robert Kraft was in Russia. And apparently, Vladimir Putin stole a ring of his. Listen to this. Robert Kraft had some not-so-polite words for the Ruski president, Vladimir Putin, during the roast of Tom Brady, asking not so politely for the head Ruski to give back his fucking ring. In case Vladimir Putin, you're watching, give me my effing ring back, would you? I mean, why are you giving Vladimir Putin a ring? I mean, that's on you. Details within Jeff Benedict's book, which has the same title as the documentary, explain how the Bush administration told Kraft it would be in the country's best interest if he said he gave Putin his Super Bowl ring as a gift in the summer of 2005. What are we doing? We're giving a freaking 5'2" crazy-ass genocidal Russian dictator Super Bowl rings? For what? This is Biden-esque. Even suggesting this is Biden-esque. It's like you're so stupid, you don't even know. I'm going to give a world championship ring to a guy who doesn't even know what football is, who murders millions of people. How about we don't give gifts to homicidal dictators? No? Too crazy? Too nuts? How about if we give them a gift, we give them a gift of a shot to the head? A little bam. Start World War III. So Putin apparently got showed the ring. Kraft's over in Russia. Here it is. Kraft showed Putin the Super Bowl ring when they traveled to Russia. Putin allegedly admired its size. How many diamonds? Okay. I could kill somebody with this ring. Putin said to Kraft, you could kill somebody without it. You were the head of the KGB. How about that? You're the head of the KGB. You kill anybody. Do you like my Russian accent? Is it offensive? I hope it is. I hope somebody says, well, that's offensive. I can't believe you went with a Russian accent. I can't either. It wasn't very good, but I'm not mad about it. That was Italian. Shit. Anyway, however, things got weird. Things got weird, as they usually do. I'm hearing Putin's a little kinky. And we all know Robert Kraft ain't afraid to get a squeezer. But things got a little, let's say, kinky. When Kraft put his hand back out to get the ring, Putin put it in his pocket. Days later, the Associated Press reported Putin had stolen Kraft's ring, and it made national headlines to the point where the Globe called it an international incident. Now, let me ask you, I like scenarios. See, when I'm in the shower, my wife will say, who are you talking to? You know, and after I give her a risque dance and ask her if she wants to join me, I'll say who I'm talking to. The other day, I was talking to my grass out in the front. I was. I'm like, will you just grow? And she goes, who are you talking to? And, of course, I gave her some of this and some of this, you know. But anyway, I'm like, I'm talking to the grass. So now you got me thinking. When I saw the rundown that the Nick and Knicks prepared, it got me to do some serious thinking. And that thinking led me to this. What if, just what if, Kraft led with a right hook, bam, and caught Putin right here in the face? Now, work with me on this. He takes a swing, catches Putin, has his other arm up because probably something's coming this way. Hey, man, give me my damn ring back. How would that have gone over? Like, I'm sure Putin could take a punch and probably, as the head of the KGB, probably could kill Kraft with one hand. But I'm guessing people would have jumped in. Robert Kraft would have been an all-time hero. Robert Kraft probably is now an all-time hero for his stance on fighting anti-Semitism, particularly at his alma mater, Columbia. However, had he given a right cross or maybe a left jab in on Putin, that would have been one for the ages. I told you, give me my ring back. You don't just steal from a man right in front of you, you thieving coward. How about that? How would that have gone? Now, I wonder if Bush in 2005, George W., would have thought that was a good thing, would have thought that was an international incident. Let me ask you something else. Would that have caused World War III? Like, things have been started. Mrs. O'Leary's cow knocking over a damn lantern, setting a barn on fire, started a great fire in Chicago. So catastrophes have started for much less than one dude punching out a world leader. But I got to tell you, however it would have started, Robert Kraft would be an all-time hero. Robert Kraft would be the guy that everybody's talking about, not for getting a squeezer, but for punching Putin. My man Nick says this. Robert Kraft would mysteriously fall from his hotel window the next day. Now, having said that, Robert Kraft would need round-the-clock security of not big guys, crazy guys. Like big, those black ops guys. He would have needed that for the rest of his life. But he'd got his ring back. The shame wouldn't have been there, and he wouldn't have to go on a roast of Tom Brady complaining about it. It's starting to come out. People are starting to bitch, whine, and moan about that roast. So Kraft wants his ring back. Gisele Bundchen's mad because of how her family is portrayed. Hey, don't start stooping the jiu-jitsu guy. And we got no problem. Gisele Bundchen, she's mad. Aaron Hernandez is, baby mama's mad. Well, don't spread your legs to a murder. I mean, what do you want me to tell you? Some dude's mad. Only homophobes liked it. Well, whatever. You know what I mean? Okay. Only homophobes, only this, only that, like that roast. Well, put me in whatever category you want. I haven't seen the whole thing, but I saw enough of it to know I like the roast. And if that offends 1% of the population, screw you. If that offends 10% of the population, screw you. But I liked everything about the roast. Of course, that I saw. I didn't see the whole thing. I'm sure there was downtime. And I got to tell you, Nikki Glazer, fantastic. And that guy Hinchcliffe, unbelievable. And if you're going to get offended, go over in the corner and be offended. But Robert Kraft, you could have been a contender. You could have been a contender for the absolute stud of the century. Yo, you stole my ring. Give me. What, I know steal the ring. No, you stole it. What? I know steal the ring. Boris, tell man, I know steal the ring. No, you stole my ring. Boom! Now give me my ring. That's what I'm talking about. Missed a hell of an opportunity. Missed a hell of an opportunity. First, Soyboy has come out of the woodwork to criticize the insanely hilarious roast. Of course, it's from the woke ESPN employees. Sam Block. Now, Sam Block's just a little twerp. Sam Block's just this guy that writes for Ohio State. He's mad at all things Michigan. Sam Block took to Twitter voicing the issues with the Netflix roast. So it was what I was just talking about. Little Sammy Block's mad. Every racist loved the Brady roast. Every homophobe loved the Brady roast. Every misogynist loved the Brady roast. Every anti-Semitic. Oh, even the anti-Semites loved the Brady roast. All right. Great. Stop giving hateful content a platform. Really? Okay, Sammy. Oh, Sammy. Yeah, well, I think we stop giving you a platform. I think we start giving your dumbass. So anti-Semite, hey, look, this is like saying I got a black friend. I liked what Robert Kraft said. He was black. He was Jewish. I liked what Jeff Ross said. He was Jewish. What's the problem? A lot of Jewish folks showed up. You know it's coming. You know all these little boys are trying to make a name for himself. Let's see here. Jokes about 9/11 aren't funny. Jokes about LGBTQ are not. Oh, yeah, they are. Oh, yeah, they are. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Jokes about LGBTQ are funny. I'm Polish. Polish jokes are funny. Serbian jokes when the Jokic family goes nuts are funny. Jokes about murder are not funny. Jokes about sexual assault are not funny. The Tom Brady roast was disgusting. No, the Tom Brady roast was hilarious. If you don't like it, you don't like it, Sammy. Sammy, you know what I mean? You do it, baby. You do you. And you're getting good publicity. Sam's the guy that's I don't know if it's a fake account or not, because Sam's the guy that is so stupid, with his takes on Michigan and Ohio State, so fanboyish. You know what I mean? You can't take him serious. And I'll tell you something else, Sammy. You just turn it off. Ain't no thing. You don't like it? Just turn it off. You know what I'm saying? Nothing else to do. Turn the damn thing off. Who gives a shit if these people don't like it? I think jokes are funny. I think jokes about Aaron Hernandez are funny. You don't like them? You don't like them. A sexual assault? That ain't funny. But you know what? I'd have to hear the joke because anybody in little Sammy's case, he's like Mina Kimes. You just take a certain area and then you go, screw him. I've wasted too much time on him. Jason Allen Hammer is going to join us. I don't like jokes about LGBTQ. Really? All right. Yeah, well, tough. I do. I think they're funny. I think a lot of stuff's funny. Yeah, I know we're not allowed to say it, but I don't care anymore. I think everything's funny. I think a lot of stuff is funny. In an incredible act of cowardice, Columbia University canceled its commencement and main graduation ceremony because of the anti-Israel protests that administrators have allowed to take over campus. Trump blames Biden and his donors for doing this. Let's hear from Donald Trump.
Now, it just came out, Columbia just canceled their commencement. Axios. Columbia just canceled their commencement. That shouldn't happen. And it also came out that the protesters, many of the protesters, are backed by Biden's donors. Okay? Are you listening, Israel? I hope you're listening, Israel. Hope you're getting smart. But they're backed by Biden donors. That's where the money's coming from. And I'm not surprised at all. There's many other articles.
Yeah, here's the deal. Joe Biden's been president for damn near 4 years now, and everything that happens he blames on Trump. And I don't blame Biden for doing that because Biden doesn't know anything else. But Donald Trump blaming this on Biden, you know what usually happens with these things? When Trump makes a statement like this, don't they always come out to be true? Like Biden stood on stage during a debate and lied about getting money from different places, and they always turn out to be true. When it comes to money, I got to tell you, man, I take President Trump at his word. When it comes to who's getting bought and paid for, when it comes to who's donating to where, when it comes to money, particularly in New York City, I'll go with old Donnie T before anybody else. He knows where the money's buried. He knows where the money's funneled. And you got to know that he ain't wrong. You got to know that he ain't even a little bit wrong. Donnie T don't play when it comes to cash. Donnie T knows because Donnie T wants all the cash. So he's like, you guys, you donate to Columbia. Look what Columbia is. By the way, you can donate and we can build another building if I get enough investors. I like it. I like everything about it. I do. Only a handful of people could debate Don Lemon and make him look like the objective voice and reason. You remember Don Lemon, the guy who hates white people except he's married to one? Let me say that again. You remember Don Lemon, the guy that hates white people, allegedly, but he's married to one? You know, he and a white dude share the same bed, the same, you know what I'm saying? But he hates white people. I mean, these people are idiots. But anyway, here's the deal. Only a handful of people can make Don Lemon look reasonable, look smart. Wild Power reporter Taylor Lorenz, who is literally the sorriest human being in this country. When I say sorry, I mean sorry, just the sorriest. She compared Florida and Texas gay rights to Gaza. There's nobody dumber than Taylor Lorenz. Why are we talking about her? She gives me a headache. Let's hear from Don Lemon.
Well, then, Taylor, how do you reconcile the way marginalized groups, many of the people in these marginalized groups, obviously they are fighting for Palestine, right, for the Palestinians and for what's happening in Gaza. But yet in Gaza, they would not have any freedom. You know,
they don't have freedoms in Texas and Florida. Does that mean?
But they don't. But I understand that. But Taylor,
Taylor,
I'm a member of the LGBTQ community. If I go to Texas,
Yes.
they're not going to throw me off of a roof. They're not going.
Why is this woman a thing? That, I got to tell you, that might be my best impression yet. Man, that was good. Hold the phone here. That was some good ish. I'm Taylor Lorenz, and I go to Texas and Florida. What? So you're telling me, Now, last I looked, West Palm Beach is a haven. No, I'm sorry. Florida Keys, a haven for the LG whatever community. A haven. That's in Florida. You're telling me you're going to be treated the same at the 75,000 gay bars that are in Florida that you would in Gaza? That's what this woman is telling me? Is that what she's telling me? I can't believe that Taylor Lorenz is telling me that. That's what you're telling me. I mean, these idiots are so dramatic. Sam Black says sexual assault's not funny. Shut up. They're so dramatic. It's like everybody's Mina Kimes with the millennial speak. Just got it. That's a big millennial thing. Got it. So you're doing this. Got it. Yeah, okay. Give me a headache. I mean, between Mina Kimes and Taylor Lorenz, we got the dumbest women in America talking. So Taylor, 8 bazillion gay bars in Florida. 8 bazillion. I wonder how many there are in Gaza. I bet I know the number. I bet it's less than 8 gazillion. In fact, I would probably bet it's less than 1. Which, Taylor, it's 0. But hey, they're the same. 8 bazillion gay bars in Texas. All over the place, in Galveston and other Dallas and other places. But Taylor is dumb enough to compare where you get beheaded, thrown out of a balcony, drowned, shot, stoned for being gay with Gaza. This is how stupid these people are. It's amazing to me. No, it used to be amazing to me. It's no longer amazing to me. No, it's not. It's no longer amazing. It's just the way the world works. Period. Period. Couple of things. The NBA playoffs last night. Let's discuss, shall we? The NBA playoffs last night. I'm wearing my Pacers jersey if you're just chiming in because, well, they gave it to me. I found it, and I'm a little pissed because last night it was back and forth, and it was fun. And by the way, Jason Allen Hammer, Indy's greatest radio host, 3 to 6 on WIBC, number one news talk show in America, if you look it up. Local news talk show. If you look it up, that's what you're going to see. We're going to discuss this because he's located in Indy. But who in the hell calls a moving screen under 12, 13 seconds to go? Pacers got the ball down 1. They're getting any shot they want. The Knicks can't guard a chair. And next thing you know, moving screen in the garden. The referee makes a big deal about it, and he's a freaking hero. I'm sure Vinny Boombots is buying that referee a nice lunch this afternoon. I'm sure Vinny Boombots and the fellas have slipped a little package under his door that contained a ton of money. I don't subscribe to the theory that the fix is in the NBA, mostly because I think referees are stupid. I just think they're dumbass guys. All right? I do. I'm sorry. But anyway, I think they're dumb. I think they couldn't get away with it. They figured Donaghy got caught, I'll get caught, so I'm not doing it. They're not smart enough to cheat, that kind of thing. However, if you watched last night, I mean, you did see an ineptness. Ball dribbled off a Pacer, and they gave it to the Pacers. Clearly dribbled off a guy's leg. A kick that wasn't a kick that had to get unturned. Flopping on a ball screen late in the game, costing the Pacers a shot. I get it. They went back and reviewed it. What are they going to say? Like, I also get it if the guy had moved, elbowed, whatever. But anybody who's ever played basketball knows there's rarely, if ever, such thing as a perfect screen. I got 2 words for you, Nick fans. My ass. And that includes you too, Nick F. and Nick C. My ass is. Pacers going to win this bad boy in 6, but I will say this. Jalen Brunson, my God. What are we going to do with him? And somehow, some way, Villanova 3, the Villanova 3 got together with the Knicks, and damn, are they good. You know, the Knicks look like a fun team to coach. Doesn't seem like a whole lot of jackassery. Seems like a bunch of good dudes. I know OG Anunoby from Indiana. He's a really good dude. Josh Hart seems like a great dude. Brunson seems like a leader for all the ages. DiVincenzo the same. Mitchell Robinson, he just does his job. Hartenstein does his job. I mean, what the hell? I don't think they're good enough to win anything. They'll probably be good enough to win this series, although I don't have them winning the series, and I'll be at Game 3 on Friday night, not wearing a jersey because I'm not some 61-year-old clown, for Christ's sake. I'm only a 61-year-old clown on the air. But the bottom line is simply this. Pacers got jobbed yesterday. I'm pissed off about it. Hammer's going to be pissed off about it. Michelle Tafoya should be pissed off about it. She's coming up at 10 o'clock. The other part of it is Michelle lives in Minneapolis, which I'll never understand anybody doing that. But Anthony Edwards, we already talked about. That dude is dynamite. That dude is absolutely dynamite. And with both of them, I got to talk about the, quote, backlash from the Tom Brady roast. There is nothing funny about LGTB. Oh, shut up. There's everything funny. When you have an LGBTQ, whatever the hell it is, parade, and dudes are driving, old guys, hairy back, dicks out, riding naked on bicycles down Meridian in Indianapolis, the jokes write themselves. If you're not a serious people, then how can we take you serious and not write jokes? And naked dudes in parades and sex acts and whips and crap means you're not serious people. You're not. So the jokes write themselves.